Okay, it says Paula and Carl are packing boxes on a cart. Each box weighs the same. Paula packs 3 boxes and Carl packs 2 boxes. The total weight of the boxes is 15 pounds. Write and solve an equation to find the weight of each box. Okay, so they give us our variable. They already defined it for us. We're going to have W equal the weight of the box. Now, Paula packs 3 boxes. So I've got 3 boxes. Okay, plus Carl packs 2 of them. Together, that weighs 15 pounds. Now, let's think about this. What am I doing by multiplying 3 times W? What is this actually saying? Well, 3x, but I'm talking, after we multiply these 2 things together, I'm getting the number of pounds, right? So Paula packs 3 boxes. So 3 boxes times however much it weighs, plus 2 boxes times how much it weighs equals 15 pounds. So from here, now it should be easy to solve. I'm going to draw my line. I'm going to put together, and on your worksheet, you may need an extra sheet of paper just so that you have room to write. 3W and 2W, 5W equals 15. Divide by 5. W equals 3. What does this mean? Each box weighs 3 pounds. That's what it's saying. All right, now let's look at number 3. The perimeter of the triangle is shown, is 30 inches. What is the value of x and what is the length of each side? Okay, what does perimeter mean? Okay, but you do what with it? Do you multiply? Add. So we add up all sides. Oh, S-E. Woo, E-S. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take x plus 2x plus 3 plus x plus 7. And that equals 30. So all I did was add all this up. And if they asked you to write the equation, this is what you would have. Now, honestly, if I was doing this, I look at this and see that it's perimeter. So I go through and I add up x, 2x, and 1x. Well, that's the same thing I'm doing with it all in a line, but normally I don't write it all in one line like this. So I have 2, 3, 4. So I have 4x. And then my units, 3 plus 7. So I have 3 plus 7. So that's 10. And that equals 30. So again, over here on the left-hand side, all I did was combine like terms. I put the x's together, and I put the units together. Now from here, we should be able to solve. Subtract 10 from each side. 4x equals 20. Divide by 4. X equals 5. Now, it said first solve for x and then find your length of each side. Okay, well, this side length is x. So if it's x, then that means it's 5. So that side is 5 inches. Down here it says it's x plus 7. So that's 5 plus 7. So that side of the triangle is 12. The long diagonal one up here says 2 times x. That means 2 times 5 plus 3. 2 times 5 is 15. 15 plus 3. 2 times 5 is not 15. Guess I was up too late for Halloween. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 plus 3 is 13. There we go. That diagonal should almost always be the longest side, so it should have the largest number on it. All right, let's look at number 5. This is just like some of the problems you're going to have in geometry. It says the line segment BG, so DG. Oops. DG, this whole length right here is 24. And they want me to find the measures of DE, EF, and FG. Well, all I have to do is I take each one of these segments, add them up, and it equals 24. So if I wrote it all out, I'd have 9 minus x plus 3x plus 2 plus 5x minus 1, and that equals 24. So all I did was add up all these. So as I look at my x's, I always like to underline them so I don't get them, I don't miss some. 5 and 3 is 8. 8 minus 1 is 7. So I have 7x. Then I'm going to put together my units. 9 plus 2 is 11. Minus 1 is 10. So I have plus 10 equals 24. Well, here, simple two-step equation to solve. Subtract 10 from each side. 7x equals 14. Divide by 7. X equals 2. Okay. So now that I know it equals 2, I can go back up here and DE says 9 minus x. So I have 9 minus 2. So DE is 7. EF let's look at EF. Okay, EF. It says 3x plus 2. So this says 3 times x. X is 2 plus 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. Yeah, so EF is 8. So I've got 8 for this section, 7 for this section. Now FG is 5x minus 1. 5 times x. X is 2. Minus 1. 10 minus 1 is 9. All right. Let's look at number 7. There we go. The perimeter of a square shown is 36 millimeters. What's the value of x and what's the length of each side? What is true about all the sides of a square? They are the same size. So I have 4x minus 3, 4x minus 3, 4x minus 3. Now that's a great comment. Hold on. It was said that it's a rectangle. But here's the thing. You can never go by the picture. You have to go by what the rules are that they're taking. See, as I go and let's see if I can make this. Look, as I drag it, look how I change it. Do you see what I mean? Like there, it looks like a square, right? And as I drag it, what does it look like now? A rectangle. So you can't go by just the picture. You have to go by what it's telling you. Okay, but that's I'm glad you said that because it's true. And that happens a lot in geometry. Okay, so now perimeter means to add up all the sides. Now I can add up all the sides so let's see, I could write 4x minus 3, 4x minus 3, 4x minus 3 like that. But how many sides are there on a square? 4. I can take 4 times 4x minus 3 equals 36. I can multiply the side by 4 because they're all the same, or I can add them all up. Either way, it's going to give me the same answer. So as I go here, I have to multiply 4 times 4x, 4 times negative 3. So I get 16x minus 12 equals 36. I'm going to add 12 to each side. I get 16x equals 48. Divide by 16. X equals 3. Okay, so that's the value of x, and this said the length of each side. The lengths of the side, that's 4x minus 3. So I have 4 times x. X is 3. And then minus 3. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 minus 3 is 9. Each one of these sides is 9. And if I added them all up, it would give me 36. So that I know that I'm right. All right, number 9. Number 9 says, James bought 3 items that were discounted, that were each discounted $2. He spent a total of $24 before tax. Okay, this is important. See that each of them were discounted? First off, do we even know how much it is that he paid? No, we don't have a clue. So X is going to represent the cost of the item. And I probably should put the original cost, and you'll see why in a minute. Original cost of the item. Now, first off, it says that he bought 3 items, and they're each discounted by $2. So whatever the cost is, I'm discounting it by $2, so I'm subtracting a 2 off of it. Very important, because this is going to play into a lot of the problems that they're going to have or try and trick you with on the EOC. Now, X minus 2, this is the cost of one item. You have to multiply it. I'm choking. Hold on. You have to multiply it by 3 because there's 3 items. So they spend a total of 24. Now so here's the equation. This is what's supposed to go here. Well, it won't all go with me. So here's your equation. Now it wants to know the cost of each item. So from here, I'm going to take 3 times x, 3 times negative 2. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, equals 24. Now as I go to solve it, I add 6 to each side. It's 3x equals 30. Divide by 3. X is 10. X is the original price of the item. Okay, so the original price is $10. But how much did he buy? How much was it when it was discounted?
$3. No, it was $12. Yeah.
No, it wasn't $12. Look, it's $10. And so the discount price is $8. Okay, number 11. Looking at number 11, it says find the perimeter of the rectangle below. Remember, perimeter means to add up all the sides. So I can actually write this 2 different ways. Okay? I can label mine like this with the matching sides. I can go at, you mean combine and put these together and those together? Yes, because I could go through and I could do 3 and 3 is 6. 7, 8. So I have 8x. 6 plus 6 is 12. Minus 5 is 7. Minus 5, so it's plus 2. And you see where it says in terms of x? In terms of x means just this. There's not an answer. It's not asking you to solve for x. It's asking you just because it doesn't tell us what the perimeter is. When it tells you in terms of x, you are just simplifying. So right here, it's just telling you to simplify. All right, number 13. Hint, hint, hint. You'll see this again. It says the perimeter of the rectangle below is 22. Now see, in the last one when it said in terms of x, it didn't tell us what the perimeter equals. This one does. This means I'm going to have to solve it. So I'm going to label the sides of my perimeter. Of my rectangle, sorry. Now to find my perimeter, add up all the x's. 4, that's 8. 9, 10, 11, so that's 14x. Then I have minus 5, that's negative 10. No, that's negative 10. And then a 2, which gives me negative 8. Adding another 2, negative 6. So I've got minus 6 when I put those all together. And it equals 22. The reason why we use an equal sign is because it tells us what the perimeter is. So now to solve it, add 6. I get 14x equals 28. Divide by 14. X equals 2. Now, that doesn't tell me anything like for my length and width. I have to substitute that in and figure it out. I've got, and it doesn't really matter which one is your length and width. Okay? I'll just make this my width and this my length. Okay, so this says 3 times 2. 3 times x. 3 times 2 plus 2. So I have 6 plus 2, which is 8. My width is 8. My length says 4 times x minus 5. So I have 8 minus 5, which is 3. Let's look at number 15. That's 14. Number 15 says Camille and Ernest put wallpaper border around 2 different rectangular rooms. They both use the same amount of border. The dimensions of the rooms are shown below. Write an equation to represent the situation. Which room is more spacious? Spacious meaning bigger. Well, first off, we've got to figure out what the dimensions of the rooms are. Okay, so the perimeter of each room is the same. Okay, so let's look right here. Ernest, I have x minus 3 and x plus 12. Ernest has 1, 2, 3, 4x. 12 and 12 is 24. Minus 3 is 21. Minus 3 is 18. So plus 18. That's Ernest's room. Camille has x and 2x. 2, 4, yep. This is 6x. Now it says that the perimeters equal each other. So since these perimeters are the same, that's why we're setting them equal to each other, and now we need to solve for x. Now normally I tell you always move your x's to the left. In this case, just because I'm going to speed up a step, I'm going to move my x's to the right. And if for me to move this 4x over here, I subtract 4x. I get 18 equals 2x. I divide by 2, and x equals 9. Now, that's not my answer, though. That doesn't tell me anything until I plug it in and try and figure it out. If I look at Camille's room, x is 9. So that means I've got 9 right here. Right here, her length is 2 times x. 2 times 9 is 18. So her room is a 9 by 18. Ernest is x minus 3. That's 9 minus 3. So he's got 6. You've got 9 plus 12, which is 21. Okay, so let's see. Ernest has a 9 by 21. And Camille has a 9 by 18. Now I actually can look at this and you can see since the lengths are both, or length or width, the 9s, they both have one of the sides 9 feet. Camille's is smaller because Ernest is by 21. But when you're talking about spacious, you're talking about area. And how do you find area? Length times width. What's 9 times 21? And what is 9 times 18? What's 9 times 18? Whose room is bigger, has a bigger area? Ernest has the biggest room. Even though it doesn't look like it, but from the picture, does it? Because he's got more area in his room. Let's look at number 17. Paris has $100 at the beginning of the month, but spends $3 each day on snacks from the vending machine. Nicole starts with $20, but earns $5 a day babysitting for a neighbor. She decides not to spend any of the money. In how many days will they have the same amount of money? At that time, how much money do they each have? Okay, let's think of Paris. Paris starts with $100. She spends $3 a day. So she's going to subtract $3 a day. Now, so what is X? What does X represent? The number of days. Number of days. Okay. Nicole, she starts out with $20, but she's earning money. So she's adding $5 a day. You want to find out when these are equal. So I'm going to take 100 minus 3x and set it equal to 20 plus 5x. Now, right now, take a minute and solve for x. Do that now, please. Okay, now what I need to do is I need to move my x's to one side, my numbers to another. I'm going to move my x's to the left. And to move it over there, remember this is a plus 5, so I have to subtract 5x to each side. I get 100 minus 8x equals 20. Now I need to move that 100 over there to the right. So I have to subtract 100. I get negative 8x equals negative 80. Divide by negative 8. Whoops. X equals 10. What does the x mean? The number of days. So they're going to have the same amount of money, the same amount in 10 days. Now, how much is that? What we need to do is put that 10 in here for that x. So then I have 5 times 10 is 50. 50 plus 20, it will be $70. I don't need to plug it into pairs because what we're trying to find out is when they're the same. Let's skip over 19 for just a second. Let's go to 21. Okay, I need you to look at this and what this means. This says f parentheses negative 10 equals 2x minus 4. This is saying f of x means function of. Function of x, and f of x means the same as y equals. But what this is saying, f of x, it's saying that this number right here is what you're going to substitute into your expression for x. So what it's saying is I'm going to do 2 times, instead of x, I'm going to put negative 10 in there. Minus 4. Negative 20 minus 4. Negative 24. Now, that's doing it by hand. Or what you could do is if you went in the calculator into y1 and put in your expression, 2x minus 4. This is saying x is negative 10. You could look in your handy-dandy calculator to see where x is negative 10. When you go in the calculator and look in the table, it's going to tell you x is negative 10 when y is negative 24. You can either do it by the calculator or by hand. Take a second on your paper and do 22 through 23. Yeah, thanks. 21 and 22. 22, 23. Let me just say some more numbers to get us all confused. Okay, on number 23, you're taking f of 5. You're going to put this 5 in here for that x. So I have 1/5 times, instead of x, I have 5 plus 2. 1/5 times 5 is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. Your answer is 3. Why do you sound like Chewbacca? All right. Let me go back. I'm going to go back to 19 to finish up my odds. Mary and Jocelyn are sisters. They left school at 3 p.m. and bicycled home alone on the same bike path. Mary rode at a speed of 12 miles per hour. Jocelyn rode at a speed at 9 miles per hour. Mary got home 15 minutes before Jocelyn. How long did it take each of them to get home? Their brother Max got home at 4. Did either sister arrive before him? Holy moly, what is this saying? Okay, so they rode at a speed of 12 miles per hour. So let's see, I've got Mary and I've got Jocelyn. I know that Mary drove 12 miles per hour times her minutes, okay? And then Jocelyn rode 9x. Mary got home 15 minutes faster. So Mary, now wait a minute, is it really plus 15 though? It'd be minus 15, because if they're the same, or you could take Jocelyn plus 15, right? So Mary got their because see, Mary, for them to get home at the exact same time, you'd have to subtract 15 minutes off of Mary's time because it took Jocelyn longer to get there. So now to go and solve this, all right, if I move my x's to the left, if I subtract 9x from each side, I get 3x minus 15 equals 0. And I add 15 to each side. 3x equals 15. divide by 3, x equals 5. That 5 is the number of minutes. Okay? Or I guess it's not minutes, it's hours, isn't it? It's hours because it's miles per hour. I guess it took them.
That boy slow. He must be old. He must be old. Or she must be old.
So, because it's 15 or it's 12 miles per hour. Yeah, because it's got to be hours, so it's got to be X's number of the hours. Well, I don't know where they're riding to. Okay, so 9 times 5, 45 miles per hour. Wait, they should be both 45, so let's see. 12 times 5 minus 15. 12 times 5 is 60, minus 15 is 45. Right, because they both have to equal 45.
45 years old?
No, that's 45 miles is how far they're going to their house. So, yeah, because what it's saying is 5 hours, they rode 45 miles. That's a long way to ride their bike to school. If Max got home at 4 o'clock, because he probably got in a car and went home, did they beat their brother home? No, they didn't even get home till 8 o'clock at night. And then the parents probably sent out a search party. Okay? All right. That's the odd ones on your paper. Now you need to go back and you're going to have to do the even.